Hey guys! So in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the series that I really want to read this year. One of my last videos was about me talking about some of the books that I want to read in 2024. Majority of those books were standalone books, so now I really want to record the books that are a part of a longer series that I would hopefully really like to start this year, especially because majority of these books are books that I've had for years now, and I know majority of people have already read them, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to pick them up and then I just never do. So want to again hold myself accountable to it, and hopefully I get to at least start some of these, and even if I don't end up liking them, at least I know that I gave it a shot. So there are like 3 series here that are very popular, very well known, and some will probably be shocked at the fact that I have yet to read these books, and one of those series is the Throne of Glass series. I have read the Court of Thorns and Roses series. That's the only series I've read by Sarah J. Maas, but I know Throne of Glass was, I believe it was their first one, their first book series, and I mean this one is also very well known and also a very long series, and I think it like ended like a few years ago, so it has been ongoing for a while now, but now it's finally done. And also Sarah J. Maas has another series currently out, which is Crescent City. This one I also have yet to start, but I do really want to read it. And the reason why I really want to read Throne of Glass first is because I have heard that this book is essentially like the Marvel Cinematic Universe before her other books. So all like this book essentially connects Throne of Glass and the Court of Thorns and Roses series in some way, shape, or form. I don't know exactly how, but I just know that they are connected, and this is where you really start to see the threads being sewn together. So I really want to see what the heck that's all about, because I do really love Court of Thorns and Roses series. That's like one of my favorite series. And then another series that is also very popular and has mixed feelings but also is very loved is the Shadow and Bone and the Six of Crows series by Leigh Bardugo. I know Shadow and Bone series is the series that a lot of people have really mixed reviews on. And then the Six of Crows duology is the one that everybody is obsessed over. I know some people kind of recommend that you just skip this trilogy and you just kind of go into this one, but I really just want to read it from the beginning because I know some of the things that happen in this trilogy are talked about in the Six of Crows kind of plotline. So I really just want to know like the whole story and get the full grasp of everything that's going on in this world and with these characters. And again, I'll give it a shot, and then if I don't end up liking it, or you know, if I'm bored or if I get into reading something, I'll just stop. I'm not going to force myself either, but I do want to give it a chance at least. So that's another series. And then the like final series that would probably have people really surprised that I have not yet read is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. And then also there's, you know, the newest series that Stephanie Garber has, which is the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. That honestly, that trilogy and seeing everybody read that and talk about the love interest and just the whole like romance from that book is what's really pushing me to want to pick this up a lot sooner, because I know a lot of people really love that dynamic, that romantic love story that's happening in that series. And also everybody talks about how like atmospheric and how like purple prose, flowery Stephanie Garber's writing is, and I really love that kind of writing and those kinds of stories that really just get you immersed into the world. So I really want to give this a chance, and I don't know, I keep thinking about this one in particular, so I have a feeling that out of all the series here, this might be one of the first ones that I start soon. So yeah, so hopefully I'll like this one, and then hopefully I can continue on to the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, because that's ultimately the goal. And then a series that was talked about quite a bit, but I feel like people kind of fell off of it because they didn't really end up liking second or the third book, is the Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahurin. I don't actually know what the series is called, if it has like a particular name, but I know that it's about a witch and a witch hunter that are forced into an arranged marriage to kind of appease both parties and just to kind of create like a treaty among the two different groups. I think people kind of liked the first book, but then they just kind of fell off with the second book, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this. Although I do really like books that are about witches and stories that romance stories that include like arranged marriages and stuff. Like I think that's just always like a really fun time. And then the fact that, you know, these two parties are supposed to be like enemies, I think just makes it even better. And then as you can see, or I don't know if you can tell, I did paint the edges, because back when sprayed edges were like barely getting popular, I like to spray my own edges. However, this paint was not great. Should not have used this paint because now all the pages are kind of stuck together. It's really hard to flip through it. So when I start reading this, I'm definitely going to have to be very careful not to rip the pages. But anyway, that's besides the point. Hopefully I'll end up liking it. I think I have the first and the second book already, so that'll be a quick dive into this series. And then I'm not sure, I might save this perhaps for like autumn season or October. I think this would be a really good fit for that, because I don't want to, you know, bombard myself with all of these series all at once. Like I definitely want to take my time with all of these, so that's a little bit more on the back burner. But a series that is not really on the back burner and is one that I would like to get started on, even though I know it's not complete, is the A Curious Beginning Veronica Speedwell Mystery Series by Deanna Raybourn. This honestly kind of gives me Stalking Jack the Ripper vibes, just based off of what other people have said about it and the fact that it is a historical mystery based romance series. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco is one of my favorite series. It might be like my all-time favorite series, honestly. I just love those characters so much, and I love the romance, and I love the world, and the whole like murder mystery that goes on in those books. It's just such a fun, entertaining story to follow, and I would love to find another series that gives me those same feelings and just makes me fall in love again with characters and with romance. And I feel like this series has really big potential to do that. because again, it sounds very similar to that series, and I wouldn't be surprised if Carrie Maniscalco actually blurbed this. It doesn't seem like she did, but I feel like she should have, because I mean, it feels like it's in the same plane. Yeah, so this is another one that I would love to start. I know there's like, I feel like there's like around 6 books, and I think it's still ongoing. There might be more, and I know there's more coming out, I think this year, so I think getting started on this would be really great, and then I could just, again, take my time reading through them. So, yeah. So those were a few of the series that I really want to get started. I know there are a couple of other series that I'm technically currently in the middle of. One of them being the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. I'm all caught up to that series. I know there was the most recent book that came out, which was, I think, Mislaid in Parts Half Known. I think that's what it was called. That one came out this year, and I'm not sure when the next one will be out, if it's going to be out later this year or maybe next year, but that is definitely a series that I want to continue reading, and I really enjoy, and I highly recommend. These books are really short, very emotional, very hard-hitting, and they talk about themes that are very important, especially to a younger audience, but even to an older audience, to remember and just think about what it is to kind of be a child and just grow up and be an adult, and to remember not to forget or not to completely get rid of that childlike innocence and fun that we tend to have more when we are younger. That series is just really fun, and it's really short, so it's a really quick way to get into a fantasy series if anyone is looking for that. And then another series that I'm in is the manga series Sign of Affection. Technically, I'm all caught up, and I've actually even read more than what is currently physically published in English, because there's a website, I don't remember what it's called. It's like whatever the publisher's name is, I think that's the website, and they're currently posting the current newest chapters for that manga, and I think we're on chapter like 40 something. But in the traditional physical books that are currently out, we're barely in like 26 or something. Like we're not even in 30s yet. So we're like I'm a few volumes ahead already. Just couldn't wait, okay? I'm just currently obsessed with that series. I'm also currently watching the anime, which I highly recommend because it's so good. It's such a cute, wholesome love story between a deaf girl and a boy who loves to travel and loves to learn new languages, and it is just so cute. Their whole meeting, them falling in love, them communicating and learning how to communicate with each other. It's just such a fun, great time, honestly. Highly recommend if you're looking for a new, what is it called? Shoujo? I think it's shoujo anime. That's a really good one to get into. And I think that those are the only series I'm currently in the middle of. I haven't started any other ones, so I don't have any pending. There is that one series by Aaron A. Craig, that's called the House of Salt and Sorrows, which has House of Roots and Ruin, which I did mention that I wanted to continue. And then I know they have another book coming out called 13th Child, but I'm not sure if that's connected at all. But whether it is or whether it's not, I also want to read that. But anyway, so those are the current series that I would really like to get into, and some of my more backlisted series that I would like to just get off of my TBR and finally read. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I have more bookish videos coming in the future. I have some reading vlogs coming up, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned to see if I actually end up reading any of these books. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!